So I'm sitting here with my good friend Ryan Gillies of Sutton Insurance, and Ryan and Sutton Insurance are an amazing property and casualty agency in East Islip on Long Island. And I asked Ryan to kind of come on today for a couple of reasons, but one of the questions I keep getting, or conversation I'm having with just friends, is that everyone on one hand is so excited about the value of their house going up and what they think they can sell their house for. But on the other side, then they're starting to say, does that mean my insurance is going to go up? So I asked Ryan to come on and just kind of, Ryan, can you kind of give us what you're seeing in the market and how people should anticipate the price of their house and homeowners insurance and what that correlation is?
Sure, no problem. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Morning. Good
Nice
morning.
to see you as always. Yeah, so a lot of the common misconception about homeowners insurance is that it's based on what you would buy your house for, what you would sell your house for. When in reality, it's what you would replace the house for. So every company has their own what's called a replacement cost calculator. It's based on square footage is the main driving factor. And that's how they determine how much the home should be insured for. But right now, with the cost of construction going up, a lot of our estimators, we represent 20 different companies, but a lot of the estimators have been coming in much higher than they used to. So in turn, the premiums are going up. So the recommendation that I have to people is always every couple of years, go over with your agent what the replacement cost of your house is. Maybe it's gone up. A lot of the homeowners policies have an inflation guard built in already. So you just review that with them, and then you can go over different things like your deductibles. If your home's overinsured, you can go back and look at the original appraisal of the house and things like that you can do. You can adjust deductibles, and if that doesn't work, you could always remarket it. The beauty of our agency is that we have several different companies, so we can remarket it out and check all the different carriers.
Got it. So a follow-up question and something that I've just been seeing like on CNBC and some other things is that the cost of lumber is going up, right?
Yeah,
so
it's pretty crazy.
Right, it's crazy, right? So if you go to Home Depot, you buy a 2x4, it used to be $2, now it's 10, right?
Yep.
So with something like that, does that factor into a replace? So to say you had a fire and they had to go buy more lumber, is that all factored in? Is that something? I guess what I'm asking is, or people are and we're talking about is just homeowners, is am I going to get an invoice on my renewal that's 30% higher because of all these factors, or is it something?
I think it'll be gradual, and I think it'll work itself out over time, based because it's up now, but I don't foresee the cost of construction keep going up. I mean, it probably will, but hopefully it won't. But the things that they factor in is debris removal. So like if the whole house were to burn in a fire, for example, you got to factor in what it costs to remove that debris, and those numbers are going up. We've talked to contractors that we insure and other people that we know, and the cost of the debris removal is going up. The cost of construction obviously is going way up. My wife and I redid our kitchen, and it cost us a lot more than we expected or budgeted for. So it's one of those things that you have to be aware of. But it is pretty crazy. But you have to worry about town ordinances. A lot of the policies have what's called ordinance or law coverage, which gives you a little extra coverage just in case the town ordinance change. If you have an old house, like say in Brightwaters, that's built in 1918, a lot of those things are not up to code. So it's things that you have to worry about, and it's going to cost you more money. So you always have to make sure that you're either overinsured but not underinsured. A lot of the homeowners policies have extended replacement costs built in there, so they have an additional 50% or even guaranteed replacement cost is the best. So if you check your policy, see if you have that's definitely a good thing to know.
So guaranteed replacement cost is the Cadillac of coverage, because whether it's was built 20, just so I'm putting in my simplistic terms, and then I want to move on to auto insurance.
Yeah.
Simplistic terms, 20 years ago, this item, now 30 years from now, that item is $10, so they're going to replace it at the $10, not the dollar that you originally bought it at.
Yes. So guaranteed replacement cost really just means is that, say your home's insured for $300,000, but the claim winds up being $600,000. They're going to replace it regardless of what you're insured for, because it's guaranteed no matter what it costs. Whereas most regular homeowners policies have an additional 25% on top or 50% on top of your replacement value. So it's just something to be aware of. So always make sure that you're properly insured.
Got it. So just kind of quickly pivoting to auto insurance, same kind of question. We're hearing in news stories that, the people are paying 5 times the amount for a Honda Civic and all this stuff. Is it the same kind of thing in auto insurance? Should people be expecting to pay more for auto insurance because the price that they're buying this car for is going up? or what's that relationship look like?
Well, a lot of factors play into your auto rate, but the new cars with all the different features that they have. So a bumper in 1986 was a bumper. It didn't have a camera in it, didn't have all these little things. And with the chip shortages and everything else, I mean, the cost to replace stuff, and even I've seen it with the glass companies that we deal with, their glass is delayed on getting certain pieces of glass for different companies. A lot of leases require you to have the factory glass when you return your lease. So that's an issue if you can't get that glass. So, but the main rating factors have always been and always will be is if your driving record's clean, what your credit is, your history with the company is a major factor. There's people that jump around and they get a worse rate because they're literally jumping from company to company. The companies look at the history, the longevity that you've had with the carrier, your payment history, they look at your credit. You do get credits for a lot of different things that I made notes of. You get credit for being married, believe it or not, even though sometimes it's a crazy thing, but you get credit for being married, being employed. There's different things like that. Expensive driving. A lot of the companies will give you credit for having either AAA or AARP, depending on the carrier. But there's all different credits out there. Home and auto both have companion credits, which is a good thing. Some of our homeowners carriers that might not even write auto will give us a 5% credit on the homeowners policy if we have the auto through the agency. So there's all these different things out there. There's plenty of credits available. That's how they try to like help save you money. But defensive driving is huge in New York. That gives you a 10% credit off your liability, no fault and collision coverage for 3 years. So that's huge. We offer it online. We're going to start doing it in person again, but since COVID, we have not been doing that in person. Because we don't want to risk getting anybody sick or anything like that.
Got it. That's great. So in all, in your auto, it's about having a good driving record and all the things that we know are important, and that's going to affect your rating the most. So I think this is great. I appreciate it. So Ryan, you're at the Sutton Agency, which is in East Islip on Long Island. Give us your phone number, give us your email. How can people get in touch with you if they'd like to reach out to you?
You can reach me by email. It's really easy, rg@suttonins.com, or my direct line, 631-446-3169. Our website is suttonins.com, pretty easy. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Sutton INS is our Instagram handle. You can follow us for some goofy stories that we do and things like that. And I'm on LinkedIn as well.
So Sutton INS is Sutton, SUTTONINS. .com. So rg@suttoниos.com.
INS, not iOS.
INS. Yeah. So anyway, all right, great. So hey, Ryan, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you giving this information. I think when we get it out, it'll be really helpful to people, and keep doing the great things that you do.
Thanks, Rick. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Peace.
Take care.